Hey there, this is Red, and it's time for a Red review. So it finally came. The Doctor Strange Hero Pack. So I had ordered this, like with the COVID-19 thing, everything got put on delay. So I ordered this from Australia over a month ago. That still hasn't came, but my one from Team Covenant just came. So they came through for me in the end, and I'm happy. So I get to look at the Doctor Strange cards and let's go over them together. So let's see what we got here. So first off, we've got Stephen Strange. So when you look at him, he gets the Invocation Deck, which is going to be another deck that sits to the side of spells, and we'll go over those cards in a minute. And that's Doctor Strange's kind of cool thing, is he gets to do stuff from the spell deck. So he gets that deck, and then he gets to discard the top card to reveal another card on the top of the deck, which is pretty cool. So hand size of 6, that's pretty standard. Hit points 10, that gets him up into the double digits. That's nice. And you flip him over and you have Doctor Strange. So and he's going to be able to actually cast off the top of the Invocation Deck, right? The other thing to look at with Doctor Strange there is he still keeps a hand size of 5, which is not fantastic, but pretty decent. And if you take that into account that you also have your spell sitting out there, really it's kind of like having a hand size of 6. You can't use that for a resource, but you've got a card out there you can access continuously, right? The other thing to note on him is he's got 2 thwart and 2 defense. And only 1 attack, but that kind of sets him up for a more extended gameplay. So I think that's a really good setup as far as stats, and what he's going to have for hand size is pretty fantastic for Doctor Strange there. So liking him already. Let's take a look at the Doctor Strange cards. All right, so first off, we've got Wong. 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 health. You can exhaust him and heal 1 damage from your identity or discard the top card of the Invocation Deck. So there we go. It helps you cycle the Invocation Deck. Now the Invocation Deck, when you run out, you just reshuffle it and it goes back into play. So that's a nice character because there's some really nice Invocation cards out there. All right, cost of 3. He's a little on the expensive side, but not too bad for what he does. All right, so Astral Projection, which is a thwart, says choose a scheme, remove 3 threat from the scheme, and look at the top card of the encounter deck. For each icon on the card, remove 1 additional threat from the chosen scheme. That is pretty awesome. So at 2 cost, you're going to be taking away at minimum 3 threat, plus rather than a reveal, it's a look at the top card. So you'll get to see and plan out how you want the villain's turn to go, like whether you want to actually potentially flip over to Stephen Strange and take that as a alter ego card, or deal with that as a hero card. That's a pretty cool ability. All right, and there's 2 of those in there, so way awesome. Okay, this spell's gross, so it's his Magic Blast. With the cost of 3, you're doing 5 damage, plus you have that reveal, and all the results are awesome. So you're doing potentially 7 damage, maybe 5 in a stun, 5 in a confuse, or 7 damage and a stun and a confuse. Yeah, that's pretty gross. All right, and there's 2 of those in there. Wow. All right, we have Master of the Mystic Arts, hero action. Pay the printed cost of the top card of the Invocation Deck. Resolve its special ability, then place it back on top of the Invocation Deck face up. So you get to cast a spell potentially twice. And I believe there are 2 of those in there. Yeah, so that's another pretty powerful card at a cost of 1. Wow. All right, Alter Ego, Mystical Studies. Why don't I say it's an alter ego action? So search your deck and discard a pile for a Doctor Strange card and add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck. It's pretty nice. Kind of a hand stacking thing you can do. Protective Ward. When a treachery is revealed from the encounter deck, cancel all of its effects and discard it. I like that one. That's almost as good as Black Widow's grappling hook. The only problem is you have to play it out of your hand. But I think Doctor Strange is kind of set up for that kind of thing. So there's 1, 2 of those. All right. The Sanctum Sanctorum. So as an alter ego, exhaust the Sanctum, shuffle a spell card from your discard pile into your deck, and draw a card. That's nice. Replenish your spells. Cost of 1. Oh, the cloak. Love the cloak in the movies. You gain the aerial trait. So as a hero action, exhaust Cloak of Levitation, ready Doctor Strange. So a nice untap ability there. He's going to be a thwarting monster. All right. So here's an upgrade. Play under any player's control. Give them +1 thwart, 1 attack, and 1 defense. And then when the round ends, it goes away. This is going to be nice, especially with that cloak to untap. And then in multiplayer, that could be a huge card to throw on somebody else. And you've got 2 of them, so if you kind of stack your hand, you can set yourself up for some pretty gross rounds there. All right, we have the Eye of Augmato. As a hero resource, exhaust the eye and generate a wild resource. So that's pretty nice for a cost of 2. That's pretty decent. All right, so now we're getting into his Invocation Deck. So this is the deck of cards that's going to sit off to the side. You're going to see the top card and be able to cast it out of there. So this is actually kind of extending Doctor Strange's hand size into this little side deck of spells that you can cast. So we've got the Crimson Bands, which stun an enemy and deal 7 damage to it. Wow. At a cost of 2. And then there was the one where you could cast that multiple times. So you could be dropping that thing maybe 2-3 times around. 21 damage. That's disgusting. All right. Images of Icon. Special. Confuse the villain and remove 4 threat from a scheme. Place this card in the Invocation Deck discard pile. So you're going to cast it. It's going to go away. Confuse and remove 4 threat. That's pretty nice too at a cost of 1. Wow. The 7 Rings says give up to 3 characters each a tough status card. I like that. That's going to be really nice. Single player, if you got a leadership deck, you toughen up all your allies and they can take a few more punches. That is a nice card for a cost of 1. 0 for the Vapors. Choose a status card in play. Replace the status card with a different status card. Place this card in the Invocation Deck. So let's take your tough and turn it into a stunned on the villain. Ouch. For 0. Yikes. All right. In the Winds, just draw 3 cards. So, wow. So you could spend 1 for the recast of that. So you can cast the spell and leave it there. Draw 3 cards. Spend another 1. Draw 3 cards, and then draw 3 cards. That's massive hand size at that point in time. Wow. So he's looking pretty crazy. I don't know what aspect you play with him, but I think in about any aspect, he's going to be kind of nuts. All right, so let's look at the deck that comes with Doctor Strange. All right, so what do we got here? We have, comes with Med Team, which makes sense. I mean, it's Doctor Strange after all. Then you have the Night Nurse. So when you look at the Night Nurse, what do we have here? We have a remove a medical counter, heal damage from a hero, discard 1 status. That's pretty cool. The one thing that it doesn't say that I think I should note rules-wise is when all 3 counters are gone, she actually goes off the board. So that's normal with cards that hold counters. Once you exhaust all the counters, they go. Doesn't say it on the card, but that should happen. All right, so then we've got Unflappable. Play under any player's control, max 1 per player. After you defend against an attack and take no damage, exhaust Unflappable and draw a card. Okay, with 2 defense, that's within the realm of reason. So, and that is an upgrade that's going to sit out there, and there are 3 of them. All right, we've got our standard power of protection. We've got Brother Voodoo. So let's see here. He's got a cost of 3, 3 health, 2 for 2 thwart, and 1 for 1 attack. Response after Brother Voodoo enters play. Search the top 5 cards of your deck for an event card and add it to your hand. And Doctor Strange has some pretty sweet event cards. So that's a nice one. Clea, interrupt when Clea is defeated. Shuffle her into her owner's deck. That's Decent. I don't know that I would pick her to go into a protection deck, especially over any other ally, but that's pretty decent ally. One thwart, one attack, so she's gonna keep getting shuffled back in. She's fairly cheap at a cost of 2. So the Iron Fist is a cost of 4, so he's got 1 thwart and 2 attack and a health of 3. Let's see, he enters play with 2 mystic counters on him. When Iron Fist attacks an enemy, remove 1 mystic counter from him, stun the enemy, and deal 1 damage. So he's going to hit for 3, and he's going to stun. And it says when he attacks, so when he attacks, he's going to do the damage. So I think that's going to get rid of a tough card before he actually hits, and then does 2 damage afterwards. So Iron Fist is looking pretty powerful. So I think it's right that he costs 4, because he's going to be a pretty bad dude out there. All right, Desperate Defense. So this paired with the Unflappable. So when your hero defends against an attack, it gets +2 defense for that attack. If you take no damage from the attack, ready your hero. So yeah, I see that. And there's 1, 2, 3 of them in there. That's going to be a nice combo. All right, Momentum Shift. Heal 2 damage from your hero. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. Ah, that's pretty nice. I like that one. So that's like a 4-point swing, right? Because you're not just healing, you're taking it and moving it over. So you got some kind of almost Black Panther action going on there. And there's 3 of those in there. Nice. All right, so let's see what our basic cards are. We've got Warning. When a hero would take any amount of damage, reduce that amount by 1. I don't know about that one. It's a 0. And it gives a physical resource, but I'm kind of iffy on that one. I mean, I can see where it would be nice, but I don't know that I would want to waste a card slot on that. So there's a couple of villains where they have to damage you for the effect to actually hit, but I don't know that I want to sit around on that card. So I'm kind of on that card. Don't know that I'm overly excited about it, and there's 3 of them in the deck. So we'll see how it plays. Maybe it's awesome as it plays. So these we know. We got an Energy, we got a Genius, we got a Strength, we got Avenger's Mansion in there. And then we have the Sorcerer Supreme, which is a title. So play only if you have the Mystic trait. You get +1 hand size while in hero form. So that's going to take Doctor Strange up to 6 cards, with essentially the Invocation Deck being the 7th card, and it's only 2. Whew. All right. So that's Doctor Strange's deck, and I gotta say, powerhouse. I think he's going to be pretty ugly as far as the things that he's going to be able to do. All right, so let's see. Let's take a look at what we've got for his obligation, which is, it's the standard exhaust, and he goes away. The next event you play costs 3 additional resources. Well, that doesn't look all that horrible. I mean, that would probably hurt once, but maybe it's tough to do because you have to actually get up to the 3 additional resources to play an event. But, well, let's see here. Or you can turn to Strange and exhaust him. I'm trying to think if... Well, you're probably going to end up being exhausted because you cast a lot of your spells. So you may end up on Doctor Strange, ending up at a lot of the 2nd level there. So I don't know. I don't know about the obligation card there. I don't think it's too horrible, but it's not fantastic either. All right. So what do we got here? We have Open the Dark Dimension, which is the side scheme that goes with the Nemesis. So when revealed, place the top card of the Invocation Deck. Ooh, it takes away from his Invocation Deck. Okay, I can see where that would be annoying. Could be good, could be bad if there's a specific card that you want to hit repeatedly. Maybe it's good that that goes out there. When defeated, the Invocation card comes back, so that's pretty standard. All right, who do we have here? We have Baron Mordo. Force Interrupt. So what's he? He's a 2 scheme, 2 attack, 5 health. When he attacks, discard the top card of your deck, and then you take a look at it. You can be stunned, take 2 damage, confused, or all of the above. Okay, that's pretty evil. He's a pretty evil dude. So 5 damage, though. There's a few cards in Doctor Strange's deck that will do that 5 damage straight up. So there's some other heroes I might be concerned about that amount of damage, but I don't know that I'm that concerned about that amount of damage with Doctor Strange, because it looks like he can deal that out pretty well. All right, what else do we have here? We have Thought Casting. Discard a card from your hand with the highest cost. Put threat on the main scheme equal to that cost. Ouch. Or take or if you're hero form, you take damage equal to that cost. That's a pretty evil treachery. I like that one as far as good for the villain, not good for Doctor Strange. Then we have Counter Spell. So this is going to, when you play an event, cancel its effect and discard it, then discard this card. So it looks like there's 2 of those. So you're going to have a couple of blockers there to stop you from doing events. So those are pretty cool. I like those. So what I'm missing is, so Doctor Strange, the deck comes with so many cards that they don't give you very many additional cards. So let's see what they do give you for additional cards. All right, so these were outside. Everything we've covered so far is part of the default Doctor Strange deck. So that looks like, let me grab this and put it here. There you go. So there's your standard Doctor Strange deck. And I think I'll do some playthroughs. I'm not a big fan of protection because I play a lot of solo, so I have a tough time actually spending resources on the villain's turn to do stuff. So protection has never sat very well with me, but I think I'm going to give Doctor Strange a few run-throughs using the standard build and see how he does. So there's Doctor Strange. Okay, so that's everything in the Doctor Strange deck. Let's look at what additional cards came in this pack. So we've got Skilled Strike, which is an interrupt. When your hero makes a basic attack, it gets +2 for that attack at 0 cost. So I do like that card at 0 cost. That's pretty cool. It's another one that I'm not sure. I might have more valuable cards to put in the deck, but if I was looking for things to fill, that would probably be a preferred filler, I think, at this point. For me, anyway. Foiled, what do we have here? It's another 0 cost one. When a boost card is turned face up during your scheme activation, cancel its boost icons. So my first thought on that is, meh, that's not all that great. But I have to say, playing as Black Widow and canceling some of those boost icons has really been nice. It's really swung the game a couple of times, so I can see where this will be a handy card. And it's 0 cost, so I like that. All right, and there is one more card in the set of cards there, and we've got Iron Man. So 2 thwart, 2 attack, 3 health. He's going to cost 4, which is a little bit on the steep side. Reduce the cost to play each upgrade on Iron Man by 1. He's a wild resource. That's nice. So I think he's going to be a very situational hero. You're going to have to be playing leadership, and you're going to have to be playing with a lot of upgrades. Well, and you're going to have to not be playing Iron Man, or nobody around you is going to be playing Iron Man. So that one's kind of a mixed bag. I don't know what to think about that one. I kind of wish they had a different hero in there other than Iron Man. Like they would have maybe tossed somebody else in there for that. So I don't know. It's an okay card. We'll have to see how that one plays out. So I guess that's it for our little Doctor Strange run through. So he looks to me like he's going to be super powerful. Like possibly he may need to be nerfed because he's pretty tough. The one thing I've seen people talking about is that when you go through his Invocation Deck, it just you're pulling from it again. What people have suggested is maybe when you exhaust that deck, if you make it so that you have to pull an encounter card like you do when you exhaust your main deck, maybe that might help balance him out a little bit. And I think people may be onto something there because he looks powerful. We'll see how he plays, but right off the bat, he looks powerful to me. So, and I guess that's it for the Doctor Strange review at this point in time. So let me know what your thoughts are. Have you played him? Do you think he's really powerful? Do you have opinions on some of those cards that I think are meh and you think they're really great? Or maybe some of the ones that I think are awesome really aren't all that good because you've played with them and they just haven't done what I think they'll do. So let me know in the comments, and that's it for now. Thanks for watching.